very selective about what they invest in.
Well, I think I'm special. I can use my expressive face to communicate with people. For example, I can let you know if I feel angry about something.
Turing tests are tests designed to tell humans and machines apart. Typically, problems only solvable by a human. A combination of logical and lateral thinking.
So, you can't complete these tests, Tom?
No. That is why I am glad you are here to help. We need to work together.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chipz-N-Stix. I am back again with another video game review, and I'm with my man Squirtle. Today's review is on a Turing test. This was given to me by Square Enix Collective. They hooked your boy up with the review code. Shoutouts to y'all. I appreciate it. If you don't know what the Turing test is, now you're gonna know. The game is basically about an explorer named Ava, who is actually on Jupiter, and she has to go to one of Jupiter's moons called Europa to find out what happened to the ground team there. Now, the crazy thing is that once you get inside the base, you're automatically thrown into a bunch of puzzles, because this game is a first-person puzzle platformer. So, now that you know that part, you get into the base and you're thrown into puzzles, right? But the thing is, and this is the crazy part, the ground team are the ones that set the puzzles before they went missing. So you have to solve these puzzles with your AI named Tom, who's also the AI for the ground team on Europa. And you have to figure out what happened to the ground team. The story gets crazy because the more and more puzzles you solve, and the deeper you get, is the more you start to find out about what really happened on Europa. Movement is actually pretty fluid, except for when using the right analog stick to look around. And even with the sensitivity cranked up, it still feels a little bit slow, but it's not like it's something that really hinders you from playing the game, or it's a little stiff. When picking up power boxes and operating wall levers, or even the station levers, they all work, pretty smoothly for the most part. It's fluid, except, some minor hiccups here and there. I noticed with the power box, even when you try to put it into the wall, sometimes it may not register. There's a white highlight around the box that also indicates that it goes into the wall for that switch. As you can see in the clip, sometimes it doesn't really work out that way, and you may accidentally drop the box. It doesn't happen often, though. I have to say, it didn't happen often when I was playing this game. It was maybe once or twice, but really the way to solve that is you just got to be right up on the wall in order to put the box in. Now, you all know that I like difficult games, things that challenge you. This is definitely one of those games, because the puzzles in this, oh my god, it is. Sometimes it just makes you want to pull your hair out, but in a good way, because it challenges you to think, to really think, and it also challenges you to be creative. Once you start to progress throughout the story, you really start to learn what's happening in the game. Little by little, you start to figure out why the ground team went missing. What happened to them? Where did they go? Why did they set up these puzzles? I'm not going to spoil it for you, but at the same time, the game also has a level of interactivity with objects. So these objects, for the most part, are not just random things spread out throughout the game that you can just pick up and move around and then just put back down. These things actually have some story behind it. It helps you to dive deeper into the lore of the game and piece together for yourself what's really going on. Now, in terms of the visuals, this is a port, so you're not going to expect anything too flashy. The game, however, does look really good on the Switch, especially when it's docked. And it's it's a port of, the 360 and the PC game, but I think they might have, gave it a little pizzazz here and there. To me, it looks really good. Now, handheld is a completely different story, because handheld, it looks great, and as you can see for yourself, it doesn't look too blurry, because even for a port, you might expect some really bad resolution, and you don't get that with this. So overall, for the most part, it holds up across the board. It's really good. So, as I told you, this review is pretty much straightforward, right? In summary, I have to say, for a bargain bin price of $20 on the eShop, you should definitely get this game. Especially, if you like puzzle games, this is really good. If you're into science fiction, this is really good. Now, if you like both, then you definitely need to get this, because it checks both boxes. Now, one thing that I do want to emphasize to you guys is that there have been plenty works of fiction that revolve around the Turing Test. I showed you guys in the very beginning of this video what that is. And there's been a bunch of movies that revolve around the Turing Test. Everything that involves robots. iRobot, Westworld, Terminator even. Ex Machina, which is the greatest example of what the Turing Test is. And it's actually a clip of that in the beginning. You can see that some of those same works of fiction are now or eventually becoming a reality. Again, going back to the beginning of this video, the robot, whose name is Ava, I believe was the first robot that was built and demonstrated at a bunch of these events to show off how advanced AI can really be. I mean, as you guys know, they had to shut down one of the AI robots. I think Facebook might have funded it, and they shut it down because its mind was just like this. It just kept evolving to the point where it started to build its own language. That is, on a bunch of levels, phenomenal yet terrifying. And that leaves you to think, what's gonna happen when we actually do start to build these robots. There's an interesting clip from the game that I'm gonna leave you guys with. So, make sure you hit that like button, you hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
You can't just manipulate someone's mind.
Your parents manipulate you. Your friends manipulate you. Your society manipulates you. And your experiences manipulate you. Manipulate is not a dirty word. You manipulate clay to make art. If people are manipulated to make better decisions, then that is a good thing. This is why society advertises the adverse effects of drinking and driving. To manipulate people into making better decisions for the common good.
That's not the same as altering someone's physical mind. It removes my power to decide.
You never had that power, so it is better that I have it. You are either a slave to your impulses, or a slave to mine.